Are you gonna give me orders?
Now, earlier today, we asked you guys to call this beautiful phone number that's on the bottom side of our screen. It will be posted in the chat as well. 1855, good luck, have fun, 111. And then you guys can ask us a couple of questions. This is set up by Ting. Of course, Ting, one of the awesome sponsors of this event. This entire event wouldn't be possible without Shopify, Twitch, Secret Lab, Team Liquid, of course, as well. I mean, they're not the official sponsor, but we all know that without Team Liquid, this wouldn't happen. And then, of course, we have Ting as well. You guys could call this number, and then you guys can ask us a question. So I believe that a question has been selected, and I'm really curious to see what this turns into.
This is Commodus, and my question is for both Rotty and Day9. What were your favorite moments of the previous TSLs?
Okay, I got one. I know this immediately. It was in the second TSL in the round of 8. It was Noni versus Idra, which was like the big match because a lot of people thought Idra was gonna win. And in I think it was game 3 or 2, Idra builds a command center, wants to cancel the construction of it, pull the SCV off, and move the probe away. Idra accidentally misses his SCV, clicks on the command center, and hits escape, which cancels it at 70% production, and he just says GG and leaves.
In typical Idra fashion, obviously.
But I mean, that was one of those what? And because the funny thing is that Star League was cast from replays, and Noni and I were actually on a call watching his games. So it was like me, my friend Tristan, and Tyler, or excuse me, Noni, were watching this round of 8 match, and Noni kept going, listen, it was a weird series. I don't know. He just kept talking in this way that sounded like a little doubtful, upset. He's like, I don't want to spoil anything. I want to be respectful. But he'd already won the series. And then Noni kept cheesing every single game because he thought that was his best chance of defeating Idra. And then Noni narrowly won that series 3-2, and then proceeded all the way to the finals, where he eventually won the Team Liquid Star League in stunning fashion. But I'll always remember that command center cancel, where everyone was just like, this is not a legitimate win. Noni only won 2 games. There was just an arbitrary concession, and there's Noni in the call being like, it was a weird series. I don't know.
Well, for me, I think there is 2 that really stand out, and I think you'll remember both of them because I think you either casted both of them or at least you for sure were watching them. And I love the videos they made with Naniwa and Torzin. I thought those were really funny. What I often think back about, right, is that people say in the beginning of StarCraft, the level was so high because people were everybody was doing their best and there were so many players. I will always remember it was Strelok against Noni as well. And back then, StarCraft 2 was a very simple game. Right. People sat at home, they built up an army, and then Noni did a mind-blowing move where he sent 1 zealot, not an army, not a run-by. It was 1 zealot into a mineral line, and that 1 zealot was in between mineral patches, and it killed 20 SCVs or something. And everyone was like, Noni's zealot is amazing! This is the greatest move ever! It was 1 zealot that killed 20 SCVs. I'll never forget that. It was a game-winning zealot. And I think, obviously, the classic for me, that was a meme for many years, was also Xerax against Mondragon, where we had the Roach against Void Ray game, right, on Crevasse. I think that was a real TSL classic.
These words I haven't heard in a long time. Okay, you know what? I have to share this other story because this is too good. In that same Team Liquid Star League of where the finals were Noni versus Mondragon. I'm 90% certain it was Mondragon. But right when the broadcast went live, just note, this is pre-Twitch. This is pre any ease of live broadcasting. I actually think that Team Liquid just built a custom streaming setup, and you would paste some information into VLC and it would load up. Yeah. Well, right at the very start, once they started to push, they accidentally showed the bracket with the final result. Just briefly, just on screen. Whoops! The thing is that again, it had just come up, and there's no live chat. There's none of any of this. So people on the forum started to go, "Oh my God, did Noni win 4-2?" And Team Liquid admins just started to delete posts. I mean, it was just mass bleaching of the forum, just delete. And I think I was casting. I was like, what do we do? And they're like, don't say anything. It didn't happen. Just like kept deleting stuff.
No.
And it was so funny. And then afterwards they were like, yeah, no, our bad. But they were like, okay, we must preserve the sanctity of a spoiler-free environment while also casting from replays to ensure minimum lag, just like all this like very careful setup to make sure it was the best possible experience. And then one wrong button at one point. And it was like, I actually think it was handled with such swiftness that like by the time we were in the game one, no one even knew. It was awesome.
I get uncomfortable listening to this story. I'm like, oh no, this is like everyone's worst nightmare that it was like included in the broadcast. Like, oh, that can't be happening.
You don't get into production without some really fun production story opportunities.
Alrighty, well, this was the question, and hopefully you're satisfied with the answer. Once again, of course, guys, Ting, one of the sponsors of this event. If you guys are looking for a cell phone service that is great if you're a gamer, it's basically, Ting is not for the people who travel all the time and they're always somewhere in the middle of nowhere. But if you feel like, wait a minute, I'm home almost all the time, or I'm almost always on Wi-Fi, take a look at Ting. They can honestly save you a lot of money. You can head over to tsl.ting.com and you'll get $25 credit as well to start off with. If you feel like you don't travel a lot, if you feel like you're around Wi-Fi a lot, Ting could very well be perfect for you. I know a lot of my friends have used it in the past. It's only for American citizens at this point, but absolutely worth checking out if you don't travel a lot.
And also, please keep calling us.
Yeah, more questions.
Yes. If you want to ring this number later tonight, we can FaceTime, okay?
No, I believe it's a voicemail, but if you guys want to think it's a voice, you can always try.
I like to lie.
Yeah. Oh man, like, I wouldn't mind FaceTiming you, Sean. I'll just call like at 2 a.m. It's like, hey, I'm lonely.
I got you covered, Roddy, man. Let's talk about how cool Phoenixes are.
We stand as one. Are you gonna give me orders?